And correct me if I'm wrong, but there's something about newfound wealth that somehow changes one's sense of morals and ethics, overall perception, and priorities in life. Of course, that probably doesn't apply to all, but an unprecedented rags-to-riches story that China is, that appears to be the case. As we see from these Chinese media reports, the one aspect which has changed drastically is the attitude towards fidelity. But has it really changed, or is this just a modern spin on an old habit? Here's how the 21st Century Business Herald reported the so-called new attitude. A survey shows the number of Chinese people who have had extramarital affairs has doubled over the past decade. The report says that the percentage of married women who have affairs has grown from 9% in the year 2000 to a fifth in 2010. But the report fails to provide the figure for married men or the number of participants and their details. The report only says that 16% of men gave money on a regular or sporadic basis to the women with whom they have affairs. The report continues by saying those who engage in affairs had better sex with their husband or wife than those who did not. One of those surveyed even claims that he had used the experience gained in his affairs to improve his family life. The report also says some of those surveyed had engaged in sexual relations with several people they met on the internet. It says these people entered into relationships knowing that they were married and agreed to keep it quiet. Pan Shui-ming of Renmin University's School of Sociology and Population Studies says these people prefer to maintain their marriages rather than to get a divorce because of the issues associated with divorce entails. He also says the number of people who hold sexually liberal attitudes in China has almost matched those who hold traditional conservative views on sex and marriage. Ah, yes, there's that harmony and balance thing again. Funny how this philosophy is made to turn on its head. And by the way, the modern concubine is called nai, which literally means second wife. So is it cultural, historic, or an offshoot of modern life? Now, the China Women magazine tries to provide some answers. Without the restrictions of monogamy, men in ancient China had many concubines. However, the new China imposed a new ideology. But modern urbanization has imposed more pressure on the Chinese. And because most Chinese lack faith and a higher moral compass, sex has become one of the best ways to release stress. And that has caused a breakdown of the family. A report says that married men from 31 to 50 find it easier to have an affair. And the experts believe that men at this age have a successful career, and many young women will worship and pursue them. Also, there's a higher probability that better educated men have extramarital affairs. Well, I guess that explains why China's divorce rate is also skyrocketing. Now, Sina.com presented a report released in 2010 entitled The Chinese Marriage and Sexual Happiness Report. Now, that report describes those who are more likely to have an extramarital affair. First, those who have a wide social circle. Second, those who have a cheerful personality. Third, those who are in a position of power or authority. Fourth, those who are good at pretending. And fifth, those who have high testosterone levels. These include athletes, policemen, and politicians. Wait a minute, I didn't know politicians had high testosterone. I must be in the wrong business. Anyway, by the way, the report also says entertainers and secretaries are more likely to engage in extramarital affairs. And in case you're interested, Shanghai, Beijing, and Shenzhen are the three Chinese cities where affairs are most likely to happen.